afternoon. Welcome. We have some ambient sounds playing in the background right now, so we'll see how much or how well we can hear that with the microphone, how much it picks up the sounds. We know that technical stuff like this is not my expertise, so let's just experiment and play, and at the very least, I will have very calming ambient sounds as I film. My favorite Pilates teacher does that, and I love it, and I'm inspired. So, we are going to focus on the hips today, all about the hips and some really, really gritty, important strength that we need in internal and external rotation, as well as flexion, extension, all the way around, especially in getting up and down off the floor. My mom is struggling with movement recently, and after surgery and Baker's cyst and a lot of other side effects, so I'm thinking of different ways that I can help her improve at getting up and down off the floor. But you don't need to wait till you're in your 60s or your 70s. This is for us here in our 20s, our 30s, and anywhere in between as well. So let's get into it. And you'll need a block. If you don't have a block, grab a book, a large book, but your block would be best. And come right around onto your back. Take that block just underneath your low back, bony triangle in your low back. My scrunchie is not in the right spot. Bring your hands to the front body, breathe in, breathe out. Land right here in your body. Take fresh air in. Let the stale air, stale thoughts, whatever we don't need, move out. Committing to this next 30 minutes or so for you. Okay, we're gonna bring our knees in towards our chest. Think knees to chest, but with the support of the block underneath us. So I sometimes have a cranky low back and need to find somewhere to rest into. So maybe fiddle around with the block. Also acknowledging that a little bit of discomfort of a hard surface underneath us is not the end of the world. Good. See if you can hug those legs in a little bit tighter. The block is helping us tip into flexion a little bit easier. Good. Now just pull one knee in, extend the opposite leg long, and feel the way the block allows you to find more extension through the front of that extended leg. Maybe bring your left hand to the front of that left hip, almost like you're encouraging it to lengthen. Gentle touch there, neurologic information. Okay, let's switch sides, gently switch legs, hug the opposite leg in, extend. For me, my right leg is long. Deep breaths. Exhale, letting go of any holding. Probably some tension through the front of that extended leg. Maybe bring your hand there, encourage it to relax. Okay, find your supported bridge again. Push the backs of your arms into the mat and curl those hips up. Lengthen your tailbone away from you. Let's lower down. Just tap the block, soft glutes, and then firm glutes lift you up. Maybe your hands even come to your seat muscles to feel the strength, the contraction, the push, and the softening, the lengthening, the extension. Exhale, hip extension. Inhale, let it go. Exhale, rise up. And lower it back down. For 3, 2, spread your toes wide, push through your feet. And 1. Good, bring your hips all the way down, slide the block out of the way. Okay, push back through the feet, through the arms, curl all the way up, feel movement through the spine. Now glide all the way down, feel the mid-spine, low spine land. Exhale, lift it back up. Undulate back down. Find a pattern of breath that works here. Find a rhythm. Focus on what sensations you're feeling and where you feel them. This very simple motion. Can you pay more attention and find more control? Good, let's get ready. Hold this next one up. And just lift your right heel up. Nice little crack through my ankle and let it peel back down. Peel the left heel up and lower. So we're lifting the heel and then we're thinking of firmly pressing it back into the mat to feel the glute and hamstring fire. Let's inhale to lift, exhale to push. Inhale to lift, exhale to push, like you're crushing something under that heel. Think of like you're crushing an orange, squeezing the juice out of it. Welcoming some sensation through the glutes, through the back of the legs. Good, 3, 2. Lots of cracks and creaks through my ankles. Let's do one more either side. And come all of the way back down. Okay, grab your block. We're gonna take that block between our right thigh and our right hand, and then we're gonna create some good tension there. Push your hand and thigh into the block. Come on up into your ab curl position, so we'll just have our left hand behind our head, and then bring that left leg up to tabletop. Okay, I love this exercise because it really helps us stay aware and keep our pelvis very steady as we move through this core work. We're gonna extend the left leg straight out, it doesn't have to come all the way down, and then pull it back in. So we're curling the head, chest, shoulders up, and we're moving that left leg. Think of like keeping the toes flexed, like you're pushing something away. Pull it back in. Keep really pushing into that block with your right hand. Feel the steadiness, stability through the pelvis. I already feel a lot of fatigue through the core and the hip flexor. I sequenced this yesterday. Inhale, push away. Exhale, come right back in. Maybe I'm exhaling on the way in, actually. Push and pull. 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down, take a pause. Okay, come right back up into that same side, same leg. I forgot these beautiful hip flexor pulses. I want it on this side. So extend your left leg, curl the head and shoulders up, and then pulse your right thigh into that block. We need strong hip flexors, so I came back to sure we get this in. We're not here for long. Pulse that knee like we're fighting the block. 5, 4, that's 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now lower it down. Rest. Big breath in. Big breath out. Okay, switch sides. Left hand, left block, curl on up, right leg comes into tabletop, and then we start to extend and flex through that right leg. Let's flex the toes, push with the whole footprint. Good tension between the left hands, the block, and the left thigh. Feel this connection between the ribs and the hips. Breathe in, grow long. Breathe out, cinch in. Belly soft on the breath in. Not holding too much tension through the jaw, even if it's hard. 3, 2, and 1. Good, now hold that leg extended up to you. The head could come down and pulse that left leg into the block, into the block. Strong hip flexors, we need them. 4, 3, 2, and let it go. Good work. All right, come all the way up. All right, grab a sip of water, tea, whatever you need. I've got my lemon ginger tea. And come into a 90-90 position. So if you're not familiar with that, you've got your legs at like 90-ish degree angle. So your femur, your thigh bone's coming straight out from the right hip towards the front of your mat. And then our left foot pointing towards the back of our mat. Sit up tall here, as tall as you can. Now find a rotation, so reach your arms out, rotate to the right. Bring your hands down, tented fingertips. And now we're focusing on internal rotation, so we're just lifting that back left foot off the mat and right back down. I don't know if you can see that here. Off the mat and right back down. So this action is coming from the hip, lifting the shin up, lower it back down. Keep gently rotating through the spine. Full breaths here. All right, let's switch external rotations. Now the foot stays planted and that knee lifts up and lowers back down. This could look different for you. Remember, we all have different ranges of motion through the hips. And again, we're just working with what we have, what you individually have available today. I love that reminder. You can't push it, you can't force it, just work with what you have. Let's do another 4. We're welcoming some work through those lateral rotators, stabilizers. 2 and 1. Okay, now hands are still giving us a little bit of support. We're going to try to lift that whole leg as a unit now. So hip, knee, ankle, all pretty much in line, and then lower it back down. Exhale to lift. Actually, we're going to add a rotation in. So come on up, lift your arms up, reach, rotate towards the left, reach your arms east to west, and then glide back around, twist to the right, hands lower, whole leg lifts up. Come on up, sit tall, reach the arms, rotate, and twist, lift. Let's do that whole beautiful hydrating motion 2 more times. Tap, lift, squeeze. Now grab your block. Okay, I'm gonna bring my block on the highest height and then bring my forearm to the block. This is a little bit more of a challenge, so if you find you get here and it's not possible, just come down to a lower height or just push your forearm into the earth. It'll be a little bit easier from there. I like the additional abdominal control and work and rib cage containment with my arm a little bit lifted and the challenge. Now we're going to extend that left leg straight out. Left hand can support you. Lift it up, lower it down. Lift it up, lower it down. So it's kind of in this internally rotated position. It's a lot of work. It's a long lever when we reach that leg away from us. Inhale, exhale, containment through the ribs. Feel the work of the core. Necessary, gritty work for the hips. Not always fun, but so useful to create this 360-degree stability for this beautiful, complex joint. 2 and 1. Okay, now let's bring that left leg in, tap knee to knee, and then exhale. Really push away, generate that tension, create that, like as if you're on the reformer and you're pushing against the weight of the spring. Exhale away from you, elongate through that leg. Inhale, bring it in, flexion and extension. 3, 2, 1 more. Good. All right, one more on this side here. So bring your hand to your block for a little bit of extra support. We're back in that 90-90 degree, 90-90 shape. So you can push into the block. We're gonna lift that back leg up, swing it around, float it forward, tap it down. Lift it up, pull it around, float it around back into internal rotation. Squeeze and lift, flexion as we extend it. Lift, roll around. 2, and 1. How slowly can you move here? How much control can you have? Lift up and around. Beautiful. Let's switch sides. So left leg is coming in front, the left femur, thigh bone's coming straight towards the top of your mat. You could always have a blanket or some padding underneath you if you find this uncomfortable. Now reach your arms east to west, find a beautiful rotation to the left, float those hands down, and internal rotation, second side. Shin lifts and lowers, so the knee stays put, and that back foot lifts and lowers. Really feel that coming from the hip. Right, maybe we're discovering a deficiency in strength there. Maybe this is easy. If so, control it even more. Find control through the core. Focus breath in, ribs expand, breath out, pull the ribs in towards each other. Maybe you get a little lighter on the fingertips, sit up taller. Let's move into the external rotation. Now the knee lifts, the foot stays planted. Maybe you notice this is easier. Maybe you compare side to side, or cracking and popping in one side and not the other. That's my situation here. My right hip is cracking and popping, which is not something we always need to worry about, but still information. Four. Last 3, 2, and 1. Nice, now let's lift that whole leg up as a unit. Knee, ankle, and hip are kind of in line-ish. Oof. This side's much more difficult for me. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Oh yeah, and our rotation. Come on up, sit up tall, reach your arms out, and twist. Come on, back around, float the hands down, lift the leg up. Glide up, twist through the spine, through the rib cage, hydrate. Exhale, pull strong, strong as we lift that leg. Two. Let's do that one more time. See if you can enjoy it. Smile. Beautiful. Grab that block. Get organized. Left forearm pushes into the block or into the mat or the earth. You decide. And now extend that right leg straight out. And we're starting with the lowering and lifting. Exhale to lift. Oof. Exhale up. I'm going to choose a lower height on this side. We are not symmetrical beings, not always. Actually, almost never. Inhale down. Exhale, lengthen and lift. This isn't supposed to be easy. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now lift, tap, knee to knee, flexion and extension. Internal rotation. Like we're moving that leg through water. Visualize that resistance. Almost there. 2 and 1. Beautiful. Well done. Your hips are going to thank you for this. Last drill. Come right back up into that 1990 shape. Hands can push into the block for some more support. And we're going to lift that whole right leg, reach it around, extend, lift it up, swing it back around, internal rotation, and lift. Nice fluid motion. Flexion, internal rotation. Scoop up and around. Lift, swing, float, breathe. Last one. Such a beautiful movement pattern, this one. And let that go. Let's sit back in between our feet, our heels, if that feels okay. You can always pop that block underneath your seat. Start to walk your hands back. You might come all the way down onto your forearms. We're just finding this internally rotated shape through the hips. Maybe you have more space there than usual. Okay, make your way right back up. Okay, we are going to put that all together as we practice getting up and down off the floor without our hands, maybe, or perhaps we still use them for a little bit of guidance. I'm going to bring my left leg in front in the 90-90 shape, just so that you can see me better when I'm doing. But if you want to go back to the first side, feel free. Let's reach our arms out in front of us, create fists, and reach the hands away from us. We're going to externally rotate through that right side. So we're sitting back on the fleshy part of our hips now. Now think of threading your left leg underneath your right. This is where you might want some guidance, maybe from the left hand to help you transition onto that right foot. Tuck your left toes, push through the legs, reach your arms, stand on up, reach your hips back. Feel this lovely length through the backs of the legs, and then come right back down. So that left shin lands. Sit back onto your seat. Keep rotating the left leg all the way around, and we're back to where we began. Let's do that again. If that was confusing, it's all right. We're gonna do it a couple times. Externally rotate, thread the left leg underneath. Maybe a little bit of momentum to help you get there. Tuck the back toes, stand it on up. Feel the length. Lower down, untuck. Control your way back to your seat. You're gonna move a little bit with this motion. Reach the arms forward. One more time. Externally rotate. Tuck that left leg under. Scoop. Use the hand for guidance if you need to. Left shin lowers. Sit back. Swing the legs back through. Beautiful. Second side. Right leg in front. Okay, such essential strength here, right? To be able to get up and down off the floor, especially without using our hands, and be able to keep doing that for as long as possible. Reach those arms out in front of you. Use your hands for as much guidance as you need. You don't have to be there today. Let's externally rotate the left leg. Thread the right foot underneath. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips. Extend through the backs of the legs. Come back down. Untuck. Sit that leg back. Glide your right leg forward, internally rotate through the left. Open up. Sit onto the fleshy part of your hips. We're also practicing this motor learning, right? Learning a new, maybe unfamiliar movement pattern challenges our brain and our nervous system in unique ways. One more time. Sliding back. Roll open. Thread that right foot underneath. Tuck the back toes. All the way back down. Beautiful. And now just a little rinse through the hips. Hands like kickstands behind you. Let those knees go side to side. Moment of gratitude for these hips, the range they provide us to do all the activities we enjoy doing. Thank you. Nicely done, everybody.